Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. In today's video we're going to be learning how to make this crispy chicken wrap. Okay, now if you're a wrap girl like me, you're definitely going to love this one, and even if you don't love wraps, this is definitely a delicious breakfast option or a brunch option. Okay, now I've cut my chicken into big strips like this, and we're going to go ahead to season it. To season it, I added some Sazon. I'm also going to add some paprika. We're using paprika for that beautiful color. We're also going to add some chili pepper. We're going to add some whole oregano, and we're going to add chicken seasoning. All right, I feel like if you're cooking anything relating to chicken, the best thing to just use is chicken seasoning. Okay, I also went ahead to add a little bit of salt, and we're going to go ahead and add milk. Okay, now the reason I like to add milk when I'm making anything crispy fried is because it helps to tenderize your chicken. It enables that, you know, all the sauce, all the spices get into your chicken properly. So I definitely recommend that you use milk. But if you don't like to use milk, you can also use eggs. I don't just like the eggy taste it gives my chicken. Like when I'm eating chicken, I want to eat only chicken. I don't want to be tasting egg. Okay, we're going to marinate our chicken for 30 minutes, and while we are waiting for that to marinate, we're going to grab our flour. Now we're going to season with the same seasonings that we used for our chicken. So I'm starting up with some chicken seasoning. I'm going in with some chili pepper. I'm going to add whole oregano, paprika, and salt. The only thing I didn't add was Sazon, and that was because I was out of it, but it still came out really good. Okay, now my mom was around when I was making this recipe, and she just said, add chili, let's add pepper, add pepper. But unfortunately, this pepper that I added was not peppering at all. I don't know. So you're just going to go ahead and mix, you know, all that seasoning into your flour. Make sure you mix it properly and set it aside. Now we're going to go ahead to chop up some bell peppers. I'm using green, red, yellow. I just love bell peppers in my wrap. Okay, if you're not a bell pepper lover like me, you can add tomatoes, you can add cucumbers, you can add like slaw, you can, you know, whatever, cabbage, whatever you like. Okay, but I love bell peppers, and I think it adds just such a beautiful colors to your wrap. So definitely, so I'm just chopping up my bell peppers into thin strips like what you see me do here. So just chop up everything. Now this is a good time to remind you guys that if you're yet to subscribe, please click on the subscribe button. Also hit the notification bell so that you're notified every time I post a new content. And what is a wrap without a sauce? All right, we're going to make our sauce, and for our sauce I'm using 3 tablespoons of mayonnaise. I'm going to add half of a lemon. Okay, squeeze out all the juice, and once you're done adding that, we're going to add some parsley flakes, and once we're done adding our parsley flakes, we're going to add a little bit of chili pepper. Okay, again, as I said, my mother was just shouting, please put pepper. Oh. All right, so I added some chili pepper, but it wasn't spicy at all, I promise. And I added some sugar. Now the reason we're adding sugar is just to balance out the acidity from the lemon, so it just gives it like a sweet and sour kind of taste. Okay, now mix everything together until it is properly combined, and we are going to go ahead to start cooking our chicken. By now it was marinated for more than 30 minutes by the time I was done prepping the other ingredients that I will use for my wrap. Okay, so I'm just mixing it up properly so that everything is combined, and we're going to go grab our chicken. Okay, now our chicken is properly marinated. I'm just going to add a little bit of milk into that flour just to get a little bit of lump so that we get really crispy chicken. Okay, so this is me just whisking that fluid into my flour properly, and once I'm done mixing it, we're going to go ahead to start coating our chicken pieces. Now you want to make sure you do this in bits. All right, you don't want to just dump everything into the flour. It's going to get really clumsy. Okay, so do it 2 pieces per time, all right, or even 1. Okay, so you're going to make sure that that flour touches every single part of your chicken. Make sure you coat it properly. Okay, and once you're done coating it, you're going to shake off every excess flour. Now I noticed there were some parts that flour hasn't touched. I put it back and I continued to coat it, and now it looks properly coated. I'm shaking off the excess, and we're going to do this until we run out of all the chicken pieces. Okay, now what I like to do is use one hand to pick up the chicken, or you can use some cooking tongs and use my other hand to coat the flour. Thereby I'm not, you know, the flour isn't messy or anything like that. So you just use one hand to pick up the chicken, the other hand to coat, or just use kitchen tongs. Okay, whichever one you prefer, but make sure you coat all your chicken pieces properly. properly, and make sure you shake off any excess flour from your chicken. So I'm just putting the chicken pieces that I have coated aside, and everything should be looking like this once you are done. Okay, you want to set this aside, and we're going to go ahead and toast our tortillas. Now, if you guys remember one of my previous videos, I said tortillas are one of those things that you should just have at home. It's easy to make breakfast recipes when you have tortillas on hand. So I'm going to just toast both sides, and you see, once you see that bubble, you know it's time to flip. So just flip. Make sure you do not burn it. I didn't add any oil, I didn't add anything, just on low heat brown your tortillas on both sides. Okay, now when you take that out of the pan, in that same pan we're going to add a little bit of oil, whatever oil that you like, or you can also add butter, and we're going to go ahead and add our bell peppers. Okay, you don't want to eat the bell peppers raw like that, you just want to add some extra flavor, and I'm going to season it with some chicken seasoning, just half of a chicken seasoning. Okay, and once we're done seasoning it, we're going to saute it for about 2 to 3 minutes and take it off the heat. Like I always say, do not overcook your veggies, they lose their color, they look wilted, and I mean, it's just better when it has a little bit of crunch to it. Okay, now I'm taking that off the heat, and I have heated my oil, as you can see, and we're going to go ahead to add our chicken pieces. Now do not overcrowd your pan. All right, you just want to add little bit per time. This also ensures that your chicken is properly cooked, so do not overcrowd your pan. Okay, so once you fry it and it's brown on one side, you're going to flip over to the other side. Now, one tip I would like to give you when you're frying chicken is not to fry it for too long. Do not over fry your chicken, do not make it so brown. Okay, once it is golden brown, it is really done. As long as you're frying it on medium heat, make sure you fry on medium heat. You don't want to fry on very high heat, because your chicken will be brown on the outside but it will not be properly cooked on the inside. Once it's looking like this, just take it out of the pan. The longer you fry, the flour begins to toughen up, the chicken begins to toughen up. Have you ever eaten chicken and it feels like you want to choke because it's so hard? Fried chicken, that's because it has been over fried. Okay, you can see this looks really juicy, so just take it off the heat once it is golden brown. Okay, now to keep my tortillas warm, I wrapped it in paper towel and covered it with some kitchen towels. Okay, so that it's still warm when I am ready to use it. So this is a tip for you when you're making whatever tacos, when you're making some burritos, whatever wraps. Okay, just cover your tortillas, it will stay warm till you need it. Okay, so now I just grabbed one tortilla. I'm going to be adding some lettuce. These are romaine lettuce, they're a bit bigger than your regular lettuce, but use whatever you like. Okay, now I'm going to add some cheese. I just cut my cheese into longer strips so that it fits on my lettuce. All right, and I'm going to be generous in my chicken. I'm going to be adding like 4 strips. Do you guys add as much or as little as you like? Okay, so I'm just going to go ahead again and add more chicken. Okay, it's just 4 strips. All right, just so that every part of that lettuce has cheese. All right, and I'm going to top it up with our bell peppers. Now guys, you can customize your wrap to whatever you like, as in whatever. Sometimes I make it with coleslaw, sometimes I make it with, I wanted to use tomatoes but I couldn't get tomatoes because I made this in the night. Okay, but use whatever you like. So I'm just going in generously with that bell peppers, because trust me, it adds another depth of flavor and taste to this wrap. Okay, once I'm done adding my bell peppers, I'm going to go ahead to drizzle that sauce that we made earlier. I put it into this squeeze bottle so that it's easier for me to drizzle it on my wrap. Okay, so I'm just going to put it around the edges so that it's easier for the wrap to seal up. Okay, you see what I mean in a minute. Now this is what it's looking like, and we're going to go ahead to close our wrap. Okay, so we're not going to make it the normal way, we're not going to wrap it the normal way we usually wrap our tortillas. I'm just going to fold it like this and use the other side to, you know, just seal the other side just like this, so that we have like this little opening where you can see the filling. And this was so delicious, guys. I really hope you try it, and let me know what you think in the comment section. Bye.